Hi guys, so some of you might be surprised to see this video because it's Dermacol. Now, I done a video on Dermacol quite a while ago and I hated it. I liked how it looked initially and then my skin was like a deep fat fryer by not too far into the day. Now, somebody had suggested in that video that the product I bought might have been fake, so I decided I was going to give it another shot quite a bit down the line and buy from a definitely reputable seller. And I picked this up on Secret Sales. There is a Dermacol website for the UK where this currently retails at £5.99. It is on sale though, it's normally £12 something, and you get 30 grams of product. Now, this product makes a lot of claims. So it is a pretty much full cover foundation in the sense of they recommend you even use it as your concealer rather than using a separate concealer, that this is pigmented enough. It is an SPF 30 and it claims to be waterproof. So the full details that they say on their website is that it covers, Dermacol Makeup Cover provides outstanding coverage with a natural looking finish for your entire face and body. Your skin will be well balanced and have a velvety matte appearance. They do warn you to be aware of fakes. And it says it's clinically tested. Extreme Covering Makeup Cover was created as the first of its kind in Europe and one of the first in the world. The license for this foundation was eventually sold to Hollywood. It contains 50% pigments, which makes it a weapon against skin imperfections. Dermacol Makeup Cover provides perfect coverage even in thin layers and is the perfect corrector for dark under eye, unpleasant spots and skin blemishes. It completely covers acne, loss of pigmentation, post-surgical bruising, tattoos, etc. It may be used on the entire face or body for colour correction, darkening or lightening the skin tones, and ensuring ideal balance. It is widely used as a professional makeup for photo or film shoots, modelling and for festive occasions. Lists the benefits as perfect coverage, waterproof, hypoallergenic, for all skin types, SPF 30, preservative free, dermatologically tested and not tested on animals. I will point out as well that on the back of the tube it gives you an expiry date, which is something I always kind of forget to note down with cosmetics, so having it printed on there, it's pretty good. So we're going to try this out and then later on we will try it out on my tattoo as well and give it a wee waterproofing test. But at the moment we're just doing normal foundation with it and let's see how that went. Okay, so let's get going. For those of you that have not seen this before, it does come in a metal tube, so you want to be careful how hard you squeeze it because obviously when it comes out it doesn't go back in. So you should only need a really tiny amount of the product. So I'm going to start literally with that little pea blob, actually smaller than pea size blob, and we'll see how far it gets us. So I'm just going to start with stippling it everywhere and then we will go back and blend out. So you can see how far that tiny blob has went and there's still product on my hand. So when people say use a tiny amount, use a tiny amount. A bit apprehensive. I tried this product before. People did suggest that the one I got before might have been fake. I bought it off of Amazon and obviously there's independent sellers on Amazon, so it might have been. And when I saw this on Secret Sales, who are more reputable, I'm not saying Amazon isn't reputable, but there's individual sellers other than Amazon directly, so it's a bit different. Whereas Secret Sales, you know, they work with like massive brands and things like that, so I figured it's gonna be real from them, right? And I remember loving the coverage that I've seen people get with this, and I like the coverage with the one I had before. It was just the lasting power was not good for my skin. So you can see that tiny little blob that we had has covered my entire face. And not like light coverage covered my entire face. I would say that's a pretty medium verging on full coverage. So now I'm just going to put a little blob on my finger, and we're going to use this concealer as well because that's the level of pigmentation you get with it. So I'm going to tap under my eyes, tap up my nose, around my horrible chin. Now I don't hate my chin, it just seems to always have discoloration, so it always gets some extra concealing. And we're just gonna back it in. So despite how high coverage this is at the moment, I don't feel like there's anything on my skin, which is nice. I'll need to get a little bit extra for that old spot there. I say old spot just because it's not new, but it's only been there for about a week or so, so it will fade more. I'm not stuck with that mark. I think my foundation brush could have been a little bit drier before I started today. Oopsie. So I'm gonna put some more back on my nose. And I'm gonna blend with my finger for just now. Yeah, I don't know what my nosy's problem is. It doesn't want to hold on to foundation. So sometimes going in with my finger just seems to like lift less than with a brush. So yeah, you can see how little product we used there, the finish that we've got, and I'm just going to give that one tiny bit more. Yeah, so that's pretty much gone. So next I'm going to set this, and I'm going to use a fairly decent amount of powder because I like matte skin, and there's still a bit in the back of my head from last time that the one I used went really oily on me. So I'm just using the RCMA No Colour powder and a big fluffy brush. Set it under my eyes first because that does sometimes crease, and I'm going to set it before it creases. Set my nose gently because again my nose does not like holding on to product. Sometimes even going on with a powder brush will lift it, which is crazy annoying. Because then there's powder and you can't really touch up that easily. Or it sometimes goes funny. So anyway, no moaning, I'm just setting. So I'd say that's a really nice finish. I'm just going to dust down my neck a little bit as well. And I managed a good colour match for buying online. Go me! So yeah, just zooming in. So yeah, I think that looks really quite natural skin-like. And again, I don't feel like I've got loads on my face. So I'm happy about this just now. Pretty sure I was happy at this stage last time as well though, so we'll wait and see. The time just now is 11:20. I'm going to go and finish up the rest of my makeup, and I will be back when there's any changes to report. Right, so I'm back for a check-in. It is 10:07 and my skin looks way better than the last time I tried out this foundation. I am accepting that the one I had possibly was a fake, since the results are so completely different. So I haven't touched this up at all now, and we've got a little bit of oil, but not anything major. Lost some of the coverage on that. I did go on a big walk today and it was raining a bit when I was out, so it's not had the easiest of days. I am going to give it a little touch up with a little bit more powder, because powder is my friend, and we'll see how much longer this can last, because I'm happy. I like the shade match, I like that it hasn't oxidized, it hasn't creased, it hasn't done that weird separating thing. I'm happy, is what I'm saying. So that's that. Right, so I'm going to go back about my day. I don't know what it is with me and powder. I would just happily keep putting it on forever. Yeah, I'm going to go and chill out and watch some TV, and we'll see how this continues to hold up. Right, so we're back with the final check-in, and it is, whoops, 25 past 11, so I've had this on for a while. So 12 hours is a reasonable wear test, and I think my skin looks pretty good. I haven't put any more powder on other than at the last check-in, so this is holding up really well. I am really pleased that I gave this another go. So, as you can see, that spot has came through. I would maybe go back to my normal concealer. But my skin, it still looks nice and smooth. Maybe not quite as natural as it did when I first put it on, but definitely less separated than most foundations that I use. And yeah, so I am pretty darn pleased with that. I mean, it's not the cheapest foundation in the world, but you saw when I was putting this on that a little goes a long way, and it's really nice and compact, which is great if you're travelling. The fact that it doubles up as a concealer, again, pretty good if you're travelling, although I maybe want my own concealer back. And it's SPF 30. I'm going to have to quickly do a tattoo test sometime during the week, because I was wearing my watch today, and I figured that would just be rubbing off. So I will dress that and I will pop it in just for interest, but at the moment, you know, just as like a normal foundation, absolutely loving this, and we will see about its waterproof capabilities. Right, so yeah, here's change mid-video, sorry about that. I am going to try out Dermacol on my tattoo today. We'll see whether it covers it, how long it stays looking covered, and we'll play with the waterproofness as well. So I'm just going to go with my wrist tattoo because it's the easiest for me to work on because it's on my left hand. So if I was genuinely trying to cover a tattoo, I would go in with a colour corrector first. I don't actually want to cover my tattoo. I just wanted to kind of test that sort of claim that comes with Dermacol, just to see if it will do it like on its own without correctors. I doubt it. I would probably have put like a peachy corrector under this, just because obviously it's dark. Most tattoo inks have a sort of blue base, so that would be the correct opposite on the colour wheel. So I mean, my tattoo is pretty much covered, but that is not a natural looking finish at all in the slightest. So I'm going to try and blend this down a little bit. So blend out at the edges and thin it out as well. But I mean, as soon as I thin it out, tattoo is back. Loud and proud back. So yeah, we'll try another layer, but not overly optimistic at this point. I don't want to cover tattoos. I love them. I want more. Never mind covering them. Yeah, I've now got so much product that it's... Oh god, when I bend my wrist, like look how cakey and icky that looks. Just dusting it with my powder brush. I mean, it's not a perfect match because my arm's slightly paler anyway. Maybe with a corrector underneath this would have worked. Yeah. Ugh. Oh, I just don't like that at all. I feel like especially now with like everything being so HD, that would be super noticeable, that texture, compared to like the rest of my arm. Oh no, I don't like that at all. Ah. Let's go play with the waterproofness. Kind of hoping the waterproofness fails because I just want to take this off because it doesn't look nice at all. And it's such a thick layer that it's almost difficult to blend it into the rest of my arm. There's quite a clear line to me. It's probably clearer on the other side of my arm, but that's really hard to show. Maybe show you when we're in at the sink. Right, so we're in my bathroom. You're actually sitting on my sink right now, and let's have a look at this. So, I'm gonna drip some water. I don't want to like scrub at it, I just want to like drip on it and see what it does. I mean, I can see lines running through that. I'm not sure how much they're going to show up on camera. But I can see bits and pieces of trails from like where the water's ran down. And I just dabbed it there. It's transferring off onto my thumb. Gross. I'm just going to run my wrist under the tap. See how that does. I mean, generally the cover is staying there. It's not turning back to like liquid. The texture looks a bit more messed up than it was. So yeah, it's off, gone. So yuck, right. I stand by for a everyday foundation or a special events occasion. This is a great foundation because it's really full coverage, and I know not everybody wants that for every day. But if you're trying to cover a tattoo with it, definitely go for correctors and don't trust it to be completely waterproof. So if you get any questions, leave them down below, and I am going to go find a more comfortable position than crouching beside my sink trying to stay tall enough to be on camera. Bye guys.